baseball, America's greatest pastime. And here in the Carolinas, our passion for the sport runs deep. In 2012, Shelby, North Carolina became the permanent home for the American Legion World Series. Heard of it? Many of us have, but many haven't. It's just one of the many programs run by the extraordinary organization known as the American Legion.
It's shocking to me every day that I run into people that just don't know who we are or what we do.
Tell me what you do that's so important.
Well, the American Legion was founded in 1919 based on 4 cardinal principles: strong national defense, Americanism, which is patriotism, taking care of our children and youth, and of course taking care of our veterans and their widows and orphans if such a case.
Well, American Legion is a veterans organization started after World War I. When the doughboys came home, there were no benefits whatsoever, no hospitals. So the Legion's been the best advocate for the veterans and some benefits.
We have over 13,000 posts around the country, actually more posts than there are McDonald's and more posts than there are Starbucks in America.
Wow.
A couple little unknown facts. But we're out there in those communities.
Early in its youth, the American Legion learned community service was critical. So they started sponsoring many programs. In 1925, they started the American Legion World Series to give young kids something to do in the summertime.
Were they initially focused on kids that had military dads and moms?
No, none whatsoever. It was strictly open to the public. Any community who wanted to have an American Legion team, had a local American Legion post to sponsor them, could put a team in. Legion baseball started 14 years prior to Little League starting. And the Legion post also sponsor probably 2,500 soccer clubs, Little League baseball teams, Babe Ruth teams, but there are well over 4,000 American Legion registered teams across the country.
Do those teams play against each other? Are they all trying to get to the World Series?
Ultimately, you want to get down to the final 8 to get into the American Legion Series. We've broken down the country into 8 regions. Region 1 is the New England. You move down south is Region 2. That's the Mid-Atlantic. Region 3 is the Southeast, where North Carolina champion will go. Region 4, you move over to the Mid-South. Region 5 is the Great Lakes. Region 6 is the Central Plains, the Nebraskas and Iowas and North Dakotas. We move out to the Northwest. Well, that's the Montanas and the Washingtons and Oregons. And then out west, that's the California and Utahs and New Mexicos. So there's 8 regions across the country.
The American Legion used to bid out the World Series from city to city to city to city.
And then the American Legion realized in order to grow, we need to come up with a single permanent site.
How does a small area like Shelby, Cleveland County, North Carolina, become the permanent home to such a major national event? Well, the answer starts with a pair of guys named Eddie Holbrock and Jim Horn.
They put out the criteria for, okay, if you are interested in bidding for the World Series, this is what we're going to expect from you. So we got our committee together and started thinking about, well, the only way we can do it is total community buy-in. And when I say total county, the cities within the county, we visited with the leadership in the county and the cities and said, are you a participant if we do this? And everybody said, yeah, we need to do this. This is something, small town, small community, small county. And North Carolina has a chance to go national. So why not try for it?
Tell me about this guy, Eddie Holbrock, and your experience.
Well, again, Eddie's just a wonderful individual. Very successful businessman, very successful coach. Has coached teams into the NCAA.
Eddie is a guy who can see a big picture, figure the plan, and can draw you in like it's molasses and you're a fly and you're stuck on it and you can't go away. That's Eddie Holbrook.
Whatever Eddie does, he's going to do first class. He certainly does go above and beyond what we'd normally expect.
So over a period of a year, we tried to develop what we felt like would be an attractive package.
And while you're doing this, other parts of the country, they're doing the same thing.
Doing the same thing.
Shelby submitted a proposal, and again, it was outstanding. Instead of submitting a package, it came in with an embossed leather portfolio showing the new logo they were proposing, showing the photographs, videotapes, and everything. Then a inspection committee was set up. They were just so blown away by the excitement that Shelby produced. The city fathers were behind it, the business leaders were behind it, but just even the fans were behind it.
After the inspection trip, it was Shelby's turn to go to the home office of the American Legion in Indianapolis and prove why Shelby should be the permanent home of the World Series.
Okay, here we go now. This is our deal. We've got a chance to really do something. So let's see how many of you want to go to Indianapolis with us to make this presentation. Ended up, we had 2 charter bus loads.
Were you surprised?
I was. I really thought if we get 1 bus load, we'll be fortunate. But we ended up with 2 bus loads and people in their vehicles. We had sort of established orange as a color for the local community for the World Series. So everybody had orange shirts on the Sunday that the presentation was made. Sunday morning, we spent rehearsing with our people. Okay, this is the way we're going to go in, you know. No clacking of heels or anything. We've got to sort of sneak in.
So their backs are to you?
Their backs are to us when we walk into the room. And everybody did such a great job, just almost silence, you know. Right. I never will forget Larry Price, who was the chairman of the baseball committee for American Legion, had his back with the rest of the committee to us, and he stood up, turned around to address, and he said, "Wow." You know?
And there's a sea of orange, and he's up there going, "Wow, I can't believe you have this many people here. This is amazing."
So that was more than other people were bringing.
Most other people had a dozen in the room, and Shelby shows up with nearly 100 people.
Wow.
Our people did a great job of putting a marketing presentation together with the PowerPoints and the visual aids and everything. We went prepared.
Great presentation by Eddie Holbrock and Jim Horn and the whole community. I was actually allowed to be in there to listen to the presentation, and there's no doubt about it that they would do a great job for the American Legion.
As I told our people when we got back on the buses, we've done everything we could do. I'm proud of you regardless of what happens. We've made a nice presentation. Got a phone call and from Jim Quinan and a couple other Legion people said, "It's going to Shelby, North Carolina."
Wow.
It was pretty euphoric, and it was really startling because I was expecting a phone call Tuesday.
Right.
I wasn't expecting anything 2 hours after the presentation, you know. And so I said, "Well, we'll stop at the next Cracker Barrel." So we stopped down the road and celebrated a little bit.
What a fantastic job the folks here in Shelby and Cleveland County, North Carolina have done. And not their first attempt at hosting this World Series, but their first as the new permanent host of the World Series as well. And I am already looking forward to coming back here 51 weeks from today.
Shelby, North Carolina is now the permanent home for the American Legion World Series, and everyone's pretty happy.
Sounds like the American Legion World Series has been met with a mighty force of Southern hospitality.
It has. The hospitality is second to none. The people are just wonderful.
We're proud of it. We really are, because it is a showcase not for Shelby, not Cleveland County, but North Carolina.
And they continue to foster the patriotism that's always been part of the Legion's mission.
We really don't show the appreciation we need to show for this country. I've made that a big part of this because I believe deeply in it.
Which has led to a close partnership with the North Carolina National Guard.
Lieutenant Colonel Williams, tell me how in the world the North Carolina National Guard became involved with the World Series in Shelby.
Basically through a phone call from Colonel Roundtree. And he says, "Hey Maury, I want to talk to you about an idea I got." So we went to Shelby, we discussed American Legion World Series and how the North Carolina National Guard could support that event.
So from a partnership standpoint, it's been good?
It has been great, sir. It's been great. The interaction with the kids, obviously for recruiting is a great thing, but also being there in the community and having the community see us and some of the things we do, because we set up static displays. We've got everything from tanks to Humvee. They come over and they crawl all over the stuff, and it's just a great time.
So they have that exposure.
They have that exposure.
So the combination of putting on a great show, having an excellent facility,
and having a community that's just fully
Dedicated,
integrated.
correct.
It creates an experience that everybody loves.
And plus they got liver mush.
Yeah. Do they ever?
I'll run into people at one of your hangouts, Shelby Cafe, from time to time that says, okay, Eddie, what are you doing different this year and how are you going to improve? And so that's our constant goal. What can we do different next year? And how can we improve it next year? Because I'm a firm believer it doesn't stand still. You either keep growing and strive to improve or you go south. And we're not going to go south.
Yeah. So there's a good future.
We hope there is.